Thank you. Welcome back to the Business Portal. I'm Boom San Agustin, and again, this is SME Forum. We left with a topic about Toastmasters, and there was a phone-in question, no, a text question, asking if Toastmasters is affordable. Okay, so I just want to go back to that question. I mean, being affordable, I mean, you just said it's like $300 a month.
Less than.
Less than $300 a month, less than. And that depends on the club also.
Yes.
Right? Why do different clubs have different costs? Although it ranges within the same cost, why do different clubs have different costs, Jen?
Well, it would also depend on where they hold the meetings. There would be some venues that would cost certainly more than others, and there would be some clubs that would, of course, feed the members.
Oh, yes.
That would factor into the costing most definitely. So to me, that would be one of the main variables when it comes to costing.
Oh, okay. So, but for $300, you get monthly magazines,
Yes.
you get manuals, you get more than apt free training.
That's right.
So I guess it's really cost effective. But
yes.
what else do you get? So you go there, you get a little trained, you get manuals, and then what? I mean, what happens? Is there any other benefit I can get from that?
Yeah, see, when you attend a meeting, it's like your speaking opportunities. It's replete with speaking opportunities. From saying the invocation
Okay.
on behalf of the club before it's called to order, to delivering a technical evaluation at the end of the program. The benefit is that it acts like a laboratory for you. So you're given an opportunity, and it's, as Jenny mentioned during the break, it's a guided practice. Yes. And there are people there who will support you. And that when you actually get to speak, there are people who listen to so many aspects of your speech, not just technical aspects or your platform skills, get practice. You are also given advice as to grammar or your use of the language, your ability to manage the time within which you deliver the speech, as well as your, what we call the aspirative pauses, the aspirative. What do you call those processes? Yes. In fact, the better you are, the more immersed you are in Toastmasters, the more you're able to control these ahs and ums and and like
and actually,
right? Yes.
It's not only these meetings also. Aside from the meetings, Toastmasters would also open opportunities for seminars. Like just recently, we concluded an evaluation seminar which taught all the members how to give fair and thorough evaluation. If you translate that to real life, that's giving feedback to other people. And as an entrepreneur, definitely that's something we do a lot of. We give feedback to our people as to how well they're performing. And so it's not just the meetings per se, but there are also other opportunities, conferences, that are all educational in nature, that instill so many different skills in Toastmasters members.
But isn't this like competing with what we do? Like, we're trainers, right?
Correct,
and
correct.
we have modules on communication skills,
That's right,
leadership
that's right.
skills. Does this actually compete with what we do?
I'd like to answer that
Yeah,
question.
go ahead. Yes.
Actually, for me, I find that these two worlds, the Toastmasters world and the training world, actually complement each other beautifully. In the training program, this is where we're equipped with the knowledge and the basic skills on how to carry out certain activities. For example, you attend a training on public speaking.
Yes.
In a training, that's where you'll find the basic steps on how to do it.
Yeah.
But the Toastmasters program will provide you the opportunity to practice it and to be given feedback on that practice on an ongoing basis. Whereas in a training, you leave them after 2 or 3 days. If you're a member of Toastmasters, you can be sure that this skill will really be embedded in you because you're constantly practicing it. So for me, I don't find that they're contradicting or they're against each other.
Yeah.
In fact, they're complementing each other so beautifully.
Okay,
In fact,
go ahead.
as trainer, when I teach business communications, I tell them to check out Toastmasters after the training so that they can sustain whatever they learn during the seminar.
Yes.
And then in a community atmosphere where they get to meet other people who are also into the same thing that they are. And besides, you know, joining Toastmasters is all about conquering the world's #1 fear. That's really one of the world's best kept secrets is actually joining Toastmasters because you get to address that particular fear. And statistics and studies show that it's one of the top fears in the world. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Consider it to be the greatest fear.
People
The
would
biggest,
rather
actually.
die in a fire than speak in front of an audience.
Correct.
Okay.
they'd rather endure pain and suffering than suffer the indignity of having to look. Yes, because for some people, their image is very important.
There's even this
That's
joke.
what is made the major threat to it is the threat to your image.
There's this joke about how in a wake, a lot of people would rather be the one in the
In the-
casket
yeah.
than to be the one standing and delivering the eulogy. That's how much of a fear it is. A lot of people find it to be more fearsome than death. At least that's what they would say.
I actually agree with that. By the way, we have another text message, but this is from somebody we know.
Really?
Yes, look. Okay, it's we'll just mention it, but you're not part of the contest, okay?
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so Alvin Abrantes, good morning to my fellow Toastmasters, Pat and Jenny. Both of you are beautiful and informative.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Alvin and Boom. As promised, I'll watch your show today. As for my question, what are the requirements in joining Toastmasters? Age, status, educational attainment, what?
There's like an age, frankly, 18 years old. You have to be at least 18 years old to join.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
As to your educational attainment, there's no limit to it. You could be fresh out of college, fresh out of high. Are there 18-year-old individuals who are just fresh out of high school?
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
But that's about it. And it doesn't matter what business you're into because you will reap the benefits of Toastmasters as soon as you join and as soon as you sign up for it.
But you mentioned a while ago that public speaking is the biggest fear. So how do you convince people to actually show up, knowing that they will be evaluated in front of complete strangers?
Oh,
How do you allay their fears?
that's easy. I tell them the 2 scariest words in the English language.
What?
What are they?
Trust me.
What did they say?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Will I be asked to speak? Just a little bit. But I'll just be there. I'll hold your hand.
I was one of the people who fell for that. like I mentioned earlier, right? I got roped into it.
Well, we invite people. Seriously, we invite people. We tell them it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people, and you'll learn a lot. And usually, that's what gets them hooked. Oh, I want to check this out. And we put Toastmasters in their consciousness by asking them to join.
But looking at you and Jen and Alvin here, I mean, you guys can already speak very well. Isn't that intimidating? I go to a club, I don't know how to speak. I'm very timid. I go to a club and I see all these great speakers. Isn't that intimidating?
It could be, and
Yeah.
I have had experiences wherein potential members would come in and just get scared out of their minds and never reappear for another meeting. But, well, largely, I just want to assure everybody out there that whoever's giving evaluations in meetings are very careful on how to do it. And so when you stand in front, we try to make it as non-threatening as possible. And so anyone who gives evaluation is someone who, as much as possible, they have been trained on how to do it. And so they're very fair and very gentle in doing it. So I think that helps,
Yeah.
so that people will come back.
Plus, it's usually a very supportive environment.
Yeah.
Because we all came from that same. Frankly, as a trainer, let me tell you, I had 19 O's and I was a nervous wreck when I first joined Toastmasters. Because like Jenny, there were things I did not know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was Toastmasters that enlightened me.
We all know how that feels to be the newbie who's scared out of your mind, attending that meeting. And so I think that a lot of the members know how to cushion the blow or, of that fear that a person might have.
Then again, it's like opera.
Uh-huh.
Either you like it or you don't. It's
Okay.
not for everyone who wants it. I mean, you gotta have to want it
That's true.
for you to be able to get as much from it.
Okay. You want to add something?
No, I just want to add that these two ladies right here are seasoned trainers, and they're very expensive.
Yeah.
So I look at it this way: if I join their club, I get free advice. Right? Is that a good?
That's a good point. That's-
Oh,
save-
yes.
yeah.
I told you, it's like attending a free seminar every time you attend a meeting. You get a lot. And it's not just the trainers. We just happen to be trainers who happen to be members of Toastmasters.
Yeah.
But you have people like our friend who just phoned in,
Yeah.
who's a seasoned sales trainer. He's a very, very good sales trainer. And you get advice from that. As an entrepreneur, you sit there and there's this guy who comes up and tells you these are the tips that you need to know.
Yeah.
And this is how I did it. And it's all for free, just for sitting there for about an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours of
Wait.
your time.
You said for free. I mean, if I haven't decided yet on joining Toastmasters,
Yeah.
can I mean, do I pay something just to visit the club or what?
Not at all.
Go ahead. Go
No
ahead.
obligation.
You are a guest for about the first 3 meetings that you attend. You are a guest. Then you can expect the members to sweet talk you, to
Sweet or hound, maybe. Hound you.
sweet talk you into considering joining the club.
So it's about in Toastmasters you get experience first, meaning you go into the club, you sit there, experience how the meeting goes
Yeah.
before you make your decision. There are clubs very close to where you are right now, and you can probably sit in, even if you're not invited, right?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
walk in.
Just show up.
Yeah, and you'll see you won't be a stranger there. I promise you. If you see me there, I'll shake your hand. Definitely. Okay, I remember also when I was in Bahrain. I joined Toastmasters, not in the Philippines, by the way. I joined it in Bahrain. And we had a little club there composed of Filipinos who didn't know how to speak very well. Their problem was they had a lot of knowledge up here. They knew a lot of stuff. They had so much they could share, but they couldn't share it because they didn't know how to speak the language. They didn't know how to speak English that well. They didn't know how to communicate that well. And they became Toastmasters, and now they're getting promoted left and right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so I think we have another question.
Oh, wow. It's from Susa Yu. How can Toastmasters help in my selling skills?
Oh, why don't
Thank
you
you,
answer
Susa.
that, Pat?
Okay.